In today's video, I'll be sharing some bookstore shopping, April gardening with planting pink roses, and some vintage collectible finds. One thing that we've been enjoying this month has been visiting the bookstore and spending an hour together enjoying the things that we like to look at, from books to magazines to gifts. I especially like this part of the gifts where there are a bunch of novelty items associated with some of my favorite books, like Pride and Prejudice from Jane Austen. This is a flower planner, and along with even things such as tea from Little Women, these Little Women journals and bookmarks and puzzles with teapots all over them. One of my favorite things. I think it's important in our midlife marriage to be able to spend time and do things we enjoy together. So I'm out in my garden today and I'm going to be planting some new flowers and things that I just purchased. And we bought some flowers at the nursery a few days ago, and it's getting hotter here in Arizona, so I definitely need to get these in the pots. And so we're going to do that today, and a couple other tidying up the garden. So it's getting late and I'm still working out here. I tried filming me potting this, but for some reason it went in slow motion and now it's really bad. So this is what it looks like now. So I just finished potting this. I added, let's push this over here, some alyssum here, white alyssum, purple alyssum, and some bubblegum petunias. So hopefully this will fill out and be a nice fragrant pot. Hopefully it'll last a while. So I want fragrance in my courtyard garden here. So we're going to be planting these today. They're already budding, and this is the day that this beauty is going to go in. So I just got home from my mom's, and when I was over there, she was decluttering her china cabinet, and I brought home a few goodies that I wanted to share with you. So these are some vintage collectibles, and some of them were my mom's, and some of them belong to my grandma and my aunt. So let's start with these beautiful bird art. These are absolutely gorgeous. So I love these. These are from Home Interior Company. They used to do house parties in the 80s and 90s. So these actually were my mom's, and she had them in the living room. I remember those Home Interior Company parties, and I remember when my mom actually would have them. It was so much fun. I love, that's kind of where my home interior design I guess inspiration came from. I'm already thinking of a place I can put these, so I'm hoping that it'll look good. Also, this is a special little trinket porcelain box. This actually was in my mom's, part of her, you know, she kept this in her, with her dresser, all sorts of things inside of this. I remember jewelry be inside of here, but this is since my childhood. I remember this, seeing this with my mom, having this in her room, in her bedroom, and this is so special. I don't know, it's not worth much, but just to me, it's beautiful. I love the purple lavender rose. And I also collect little heart trinket boxes like this, so that's gonna go with my collection. Here's another one with a rose. It's another little case, little porcelain case. And it's so tiny, I love this. So it kind of goes with that. And then these are from her sister, my aunt. These are a salt and pepper shaker. They're silver. They just need to be cleaned up because they're a little tarnished, but these are going to be great. I thought right away, oh my goodness, my dining room table when we have dinner. These are so elegant, and I love those. Also, she gave me this candlestick holder, and there is another one. She told me later she found it when I texted me when I was coming home. So there is another one, but it's a brass candlestick holder. It's so nice, has the velvet bottom, and this is something that is very nice to have. It's very hard to find beautiful candlestick holders like that. The next item is kind of whimsical. It's not sort of my style, but I did give these to my mom about 20 years ago. They're little Victorian shoes, and they have like the black and pink color scheme. I don't know if you remember that, the early 2000s, that was really popular. And they actually have little, you know, covers so you can put things inside. They're all a little different, but I decided to just bring them home because they might work in my office. They have little roses too. So I thought, oh, those are so sweet. I think they look cute on my bookshelves with the rest of my beauty products that I have in my office. So I think it's gonna work great in my office. The next few things are sort of sentimental for me, and I'm saving them for the last, but let's start with the teaspoon. So this is a souvenir from the time when my mom and I went to a tea parlor together. The very first time we actually went to a tea parlor and had our tea, a special afternoon tea. And there's a little porcelain floral here. It's so beautiful. Well, I saw this. I said, Mom, do you still want this right now? Because I could use a couple more teaspoons for my tea parties. Because when I'm always looking for these in antique stores, and it's hard to find. So this is such a beautiful treasure for me. The next item is very special because this is actually a souvenir that I brought home from my mom when I went to Europe when I was 17 years old. This is from Switzerland, and it's a beautiful picture. It's got a braided handle. The flowers are painted, so pretty, so cottagecore. And I hadn't seen it for a while. I guess it was really back in the china cabinet. And when I saw it, I said, Mom, do you mind if I take that now? Because I really never got myself anything from Switzerland, a souvenir, and I always was thinking about this when I got my mom this. So now I get to have it, and now that I have my china cabinet, I have a place for it. This is gonna look great in there, and it's such a precious memory that holds dear to my heart of when I did get to go to Europe at a young age and travel and experience that. This is a beautiful treasure. And then they'll save the best for last. is this little booklet that I had made for my mom when I was about, I don't know, maybe 9 years old. So this is about 40 years old. As you can see, it's tattered, but look what it says. It actually says, "You're pretty as flowers." And this is so reminiscent with the person, the woman that I am now, that I've grown to love gardening and flowers and all of that, that I chose to make this for my mom. I love how it has the ribbon. It's still well put together. As I was looking through this, my mom handed this to me first of all in the hallway, and she said, "Let me show you what I found." And as I looked through, I said, "Oh my goodness, I would never have remembered this before I looked at it." When I looked at it, it just a wave of memory started coming in. It's like a core memory unlocked. And then I opened it and started reading it and looking at the little pictures I drew and all the little poems and little memories I wrote about my mom. It was so sweet. And I just look back and I hear there's a special memory that I wrote in here about my mom. It says, "What's your special memory about your mom?" And it says that my special memory is when I would go with my mom to, with her on her job, when she did beauty parties at people's homes. And I talk about that. Now, that is so interesting because full circle in my life, I do have a beauty business, and that is part of probably where I first got inspired to have business. I just think that this is so sweet because my mom, we were going through it together and we were chuckling and laughing and the way I wrote. In fact, my daughter, when she saw it, she said, "Mom, you wrote so good in those days." And I thought, yes, that's me. And these are the things that I never really don't even remember when I was a little girl. But as I look at this is such a treasure because I can look back and really see how in my life things influenced me and how I am still that same person even as that little girl, and how I've evolved and how I've grown. One of the things with this decluttering that I've been doing and helping with my parents and my mom, it's kind of a bittersweet thing, and that's what I wanted to kind of talk to you too about. In in my days of my life, in my era that I'm in now, is looks a little different, and especially dealing with aging parents and caring for them. And when it comes to seeing these beautiful treasures, I think it's very special that we can be able to do this with our parents while they're still here and feel collected and connected, and also be able to reminisce together when we see these things while they're here, because sometimes we don't get that chance, and this is such a great idea. So if you have aging parents and you are thinking about maybe kind of decluttering or doing something like this, I advise that it is a good thing. It is a very beautiful time to be able to take this and pick and choose wisely the things that mean a lot to you, like I have done here. And so, speaking of flowers, because I love like gardening, I wanted to share and I wanted to close the video just showing you a little bit of the Queen Elizabeth that we planted. Isn't it so beautiful? It's such a big bloom. This is a grandiflora, and I'm very happy and impressed with it. It's really a pink beauty, and if any pink rose I could have started with in my garden, I made a good choice, I feel. This is absolutely gorgeous. So I did a little cutting of the first bloom and to celebrate and have her in here and show her off. So I think she's beautiful, and I hope you enjoyed seeing that. I'm very happy that I finally am taking the plunge on making a rose garden and really getting into my gardening. I'm very excited about sharing more of that with you in the future and future vlogs. And so be looking forward to more gardening videos or vlogs, a little bit in between everything else. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. It was a little bit of everything in this month that I've been doing, and a little bit of days in my life that you could see. and hopefully it helped you, inspired you. Comment down below, tell me what your favorite part was, and also if this helped you in any way. I'm looking forward to seeing you every Wednesday. That is going to be my schedule from now on. I will be posting videos on Wednesday, and looking forward to seeing you in my next video. Have a beautiful day.